Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today, where we celebrate the Thursday of the third week of Advent. And today is Thursday, December 18th, 2025. And if we reflect upon the first reading for today, notice that we listen to the first reading about the time when the Lord is going to call each and every one of us. This implies a very significant moment that each and every one of us here should strive to continue to take into consideration as we live throughout our faith, because we never know the day nor the hour of when Jesus is going to be calling each and every one of us. And so all of us are invited to continue to prepare our hearts so that the Lord can come to each and every one of us. Because no one over here can say, oh look, the Lord is here, or oh look, the Lord is there. Like, each and every one of us here has to prepare every single moment, because we never know when the Lord is going to come to each and every one of us. Because it can be like for a split second and bam, the Lord is there. So all of us have to continue to prepare ourselves so that we can allow the Lord to come into each and every one of us, as He desires all of us within the depths of our heart. And so if we recall from today's Holy Gospel for today, notice that this was the time of when Jesus was about to be born of the Blessed Virgin Mary. So to put it into context, St. Gabriel had given many people callings. Like, first, he gave St. Elizabeth the calling to bear a son and name him John, despite the fact that she is of old age. But then, God spoke, saying that nothing is impossible when God is there. So God is there to make everything possible. And so, despite the series of difficulties and challenges, St. Elizabeth had persevered and actually bore a son and named him John, because he was the special and unique one, the person that is to bring others closer towards Christ as he continues to shout, prepare the way of the Lord. And if we reflect upon Mary's calling, notice that Mary does not yet have a husband, but with the help of God, she was able to fully see that God is working with her. And so, as a result of that, she had accepted the calling to which God had granted. And thus, she bore a son and named him Jesus. And so, Mary didn't have a husband at the time. And so, therefore, St. Gabriel had stated that the Holy Spirit would come upon her. And so, with that being said, today's Holy Gospel focuses on St. Joseph himself, of when he got the calling to name the son Jesus. And so, St. Joseph, as we all may know, wanted to quietly divorce her, despite the fact that she bore a son. Why is that? Because sometimes he didn't feel like it was good enough for him. And so therefore, after St. Gabriel had given St. Joseph courage, he decided to accept Mary as his wife and name his son Jesus. And so what lesson can we learn and derive out of all of the events happening in today's Holy Gospel? Notice that God also gives each and every one of us here a calling to willingly accept the presence of Christ in our lives. Our calling to go through a series of obstacles and challenges so that we can reach the end goal of being filled with satisfaction. And it isn't just any sort of personal satisfaction, but it is a satisfaction that is granted by God, to which all of us here can experience this inner peace, as this is God who gave everything to all of us. And so each and every one of us here today are called to reflect upon what Jesus is speaking to each and every one of us. We reflect upon how we are doing in our life and what can we do so that we can allow God to be forevermore present amongst our own deepest hearts and our feelings. So this is something that each and every one of us here should continue to strive to take into consideration as we continue to live forth the journey of faith. For all of us may not be the best. I'm not the best either, but I strive to want to bring you guys closer to God in the bestest and possible way, so that way all of us can unite ourselves together, as no one lives the journey of faith alone. We have this calling from God, so let us continue to accept the calling. And if all of us may not be the best, it's okay, because God is always there for each and every one of us. Because if we reflect upon the meaning of Emmanuel, that means God is with us.